Hey guys, what's up? This is Dakota.
I'm Lori.
And today we're going to be talking about all of the craziness with subsidies. They took away enhanced health subsidies. Are they coming back? What's happening?
Well, I think there's just a lot of confusion, right? I'm not one to watch the news. It's depressing. Do you watch the news?
Sometimes, just on the Epstein files.
Okay, just on the Epstein files. I try not to watch it. I'm too busy watching, I don't know, true crime something. And so there's all of this commotion and chaos around subsidies, and people just really don't understand quite what happened. And I'm sure you've been getting it all of open enrollment, people calling and they're panicked. They're thinking, oh my gosh, my subsidy is going to get ripped away and my plan's going to go from $0 to $900 a month. What do I do? That's not exactly the case, right? So tell me what happened with this enhanced premium thing and COVID and all of that.
Yeah, so they had these enhanced tax credits for really since COVID, where, you could make 100, 200K and still get a really healthy credit. Because, we have it pulled up here, like, this is in Illinois, two people in their 60s, plans in 26, some of them are going up to like full price, like $3,000-$4,000 for a PPO. It's not like everything's free. You still got to hit like $10,000 per person before they start covering on a lot of these.
But COVID happened.
And they had given, for the past couple years, really healthy credits.
So it was part of the COVID relief package.
Correct.
And it went on for 4 years past COVID. So it was enhanced premium tax credits, meaning you could make a much heftier income and still qualify for subsidized healthcare, which means that there were a lot of people that made $200,000+ and they were still subsidized for their plan. It was set to expire with the end of the year, meaning for this open enrollment for next year's plans, it wouldn't be in effect. And the Democrats wanted to keep it going, wanted to extend the date. The Republicans wanted to let it expire when it was set to. They went ahead and let it expire. I think Congress has until the end of the year to vote if they're going to bring it back. But I have people calling me in a panic all the time because they don't understand that if you see a subsidy on the marketplace right now, that's based on income. That is your subsidy. Like, you're still being subsidized for lower income. And so subsidies did not go away altogether. What's another misconception you hear this open enrollment of people asking you about subsidies or what they think about subsidies?
Well, a lot of people are trying to wait to see if the government is going to bring back enhanced credits. Like,
right.
We've gotten so many calls where like, hey, let's wait till the 31st. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand. Like, you can't just in a couple days change the whole system. Like, that would affect millions and millions.
Yeah, what would that even look like? They'd have to reopen, give another open enrollment.
Yeah, they'd have to extend open enrollment to like March, July, or keep it open all year. And like, literally, that would be so chaotic. Like, there's millions of people who picked plans or left the marketplace and went private because they weren't getting credits. So like, if you were going to give credits, like millions of people would have to like cancel and then redo this whole thing.
Yeah, it would just quadruple our workload.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, everyone you just helped,
We'd have
to go help again.
We'd have to go look at it and be like, here's the new game plan. The government's up in the air. Like, they're beefing. Like, they're talking about what they did, took away the enhanced credits. Like, some people in the government are trying to bring those back. But then, led by Trump, a lot of them, his game plan is like, hey, let's just give people the money to pay for private plans or potentially pay for HSA plans, which would be a whole nother craziness as well of like, what does that look like? Are people going to have like a separate bank account that they're just going to deposit money into? And
well,
then
yeah,
they
that's how an HSA works. You have to have a HSA eligible plan.
No, I know, but money from the government, like as a credit.
But that would be like that. Those are some of my favorite. When you get a small employer that they're just getting ready to offer coverage and they're like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, don't open the can of worms of a true group plan. Let's give them a stipend. Keep it like, let them go do their own thing. And then let me help them use your stipend and find the right plan for them. Those are kind of my favorites. So,
well, that's the best way. That's probably a whole nother video we can make is like doing a fringe benefit. There's a couple different ways to do group, but a traditional group plan is like super duper expensive.
Right.
And so you're absolutely right. Like if the individual can get their own plan that they need, it typically saves everybody money and gets what they need covered.
And they're just happier in general. Because like what people are looking for is they want to make sure that their employer is giving them the benefit, but they're fine to go out and pick it on their own if they have someone, they can be put in touch with someone who can help them through the process. But that's kind of my favorite. So I kind of hope it's option B.
That would be like an insane move for the government to do is these carriers are making so much money from these credits. Like, you're getting $1,000, $2,000. Like, that's real money.
The government is subsidizing.
That's not fake money. Like,
right.
Like the carriers are, and that's not all profit, but they're making like a 500 to like 2-3K per family. Gross. That and depends on claims and stuff like that. But that's a lot of money when you have millions of people on a plan that the government's paying for. There's been a lot of, in our world, of brokers, because we've talked about this a lot on videos, a lot of them can be kind of MLM, they kind of be like a pyramid scheme, and there's a lot of fraud that goes on in the marketplace where people were enrolling fakely, fraudulently, like hundreds of thousands of people to take advantage of this money that the government's paying. And there's been a lot of FTC lawsuits because of that. And so,
which, like, as there should be, because like what kind of situation does that put someone in? If you enroll someone in a fake plan and you fully subsidize their plan, you say that the income is low enough that they get a plan that's free, so they're never any the wiser that they have this plan, right? They're just like, it's out there in their name, but they don't realize that this coverage exists. And then the end of the year comes and they make more money and they get a tax bill that says they owe. Family. Yeah, like what a horrible. So there really probably should be like that's
what I'm saying. Like there's such abuse and like fraud that goes on. If like the government just gave the money, if they're gonna pay the money anyways and just gave it to the person to choose how they want to spend,
right? Then like that would be my favorite. Like actually that would be,
because it just goes to the carriers, and carriers are, I mean, we don't really work. We work for the clients. We have to finesse the system to help people out. Carriers don't want to pay staff. Like if they can find a reason to not pay a claim
and not get in trouble,
they're gonna go. They're gonna go down that road.
But I think that would be my favorite, because I think like ultimately what's at the heart of this debate between the left and the right is that the right wants people to have choices. They want to like put it in the hands of the consumer and let the consumer have like this assortment of products that they can go choose. The left really wants it.
We're getting spicy on this video today.
Well, they really want it, and I am like so apolitical. So like, don't come for me. Like I don't care either way.
Who do you agree? Put down in the comments, left or right.
So the left really wants it to be mandated, and you can see where it's come in. There are some states where it's much heavier. Like the government is heavier handed, and they're really trying to like shove everyone to the marketplace. Like, what's a good example? California is an example, right?
Yeah.
They cut
New York,
out
Cali, Washington,
Connecticut. Like Washington's probably the worst, right? Like they absolutely do not let any other plans come inside. They don't have short-term options. They are very limited on their private plans. They've cut out letting these plans be represented in their state because they want to force your hand. If you don't have a group plan that you're offered, they want to push you toward the marketplace. And so there are states where it's just, they're so much more heavy-handed. So I think that that's really the debate, is like,
that's so
choice
true. Yeah,
or
choice versus
have it be mandated. And I think if you could appease both. You could potentially give a stipend and let people go pick their own plan. That makes the right happy, but the left still gets to keep this option as an option.
If people need it.
If people have the need. Something's got to happen with the prices. Like, I mean, if we go a couple more years like this,
it's going to be like
it's going to be 10 grand. Like a month to cover your health insurance. Like that's crazy. And you're right, that's not the only cost, right? Because so what is this math? Let's do this math, shall we? So 3731 times 12, 16,400.
Yeah, for a family. Out of pocket.
For the two people. That is $61,172 for the year if they use their plan to its fullest.
That's insane.
That's more than most Americans make. What is the average income in America? It is $64,000.
Wow.
So that is more than the average family brings home.
It's going to crash. I mean, there's like no one who, unless you're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, this is unaffordable.
Well, and if you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you might as well go get a group plan and start your own thing anyway. Like
your own business,
If you probably have a business. Usually that's the case. If you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you probably have your own business. You're probably not working W-2 somewhere, most likely.
That's true.
So you're going to have your own business, and you might as well go get a group plan where you can at least control it a little bit better, because this is wild. I have people ask me daily, regularly, how do people afford this? And you can tell, like, they're just so defeated, and it's defeating if you know you need this coverage. Here's the other thing about the marketplace, people. If you're on the marketplace and you weren't proactive, and I get it, it's the end of the year, it's the worst time of year for this to be like the requirement, right? Like your family and holidays and like all the things, closing out your year, and then you got to deal with this crap. I get it. Like, it's not the best time. But if you weren't proactive and you didn't address it, you were in a marketplace plan last year, you were auto renewed for your plan.
Like 90% of people are auto.
And so now your plan could have jumped, and in many cases it did. Significantly, you lost your subsidy completely, or the cost went up and your subsidy decreased. So your plan is just more expensive. And you weren't proactive and didn't get in front of it before the 15th of December. So now you're stuck in that plan. You have Sophie's choice, right? You either can take your plan at the higher rate for the month of January and be covered for January, or play roulette and not take your January plan and start a new plan with your correct information and different costs that you pick, different plan for February. But you're still either in coverage, way higher price in January, or you're not covered for January.
Or dip from the marketplace and get a private plan.
But what if you can't?
Yeah, what if you can't get approved for one? Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of plans, you have missed the January cutoff anyway.
Yeah, a lot of plans do.
So you wouldn't start until February 1st anyway. So you're hosed or you're host. And again, we do all have a responsibility. I realize that it's not like the right time of year, but we all have a responsibility to, like, this stuff is really important. This is like the crappy part of adulting.
Yeah.
You got to go deal with this stuff, and you got to mark your calendar to deal with it every single year at this time. Whether or not you're on the marketplace, whether or not you're on an employer plan, like, you need to look at this stuff once a year. That's why you get an open enrollment. And everybody should go look at the marketplace once a year if you're not taking an employer plan, because you only get one shot at it. So why would you not go see what there is, right?
Yeah.
And how many times do people come to you and you're like, you should stay where you are? Like, this is actually the best thing. This is why this makes sense the way that you're doing this. I wouldn't change a thing. Does that happen in your world?
Not like super common, but 5-10%. Yeah, I would say comes. It's usually if someone's like on a work plan. Like, a lot of people have misconceptions like, oh, I'm paying X on this work plan, it's too much money, or they're not covering certain. But what they don't realize is that employer is paying like 50% plus.
Your employer is subsidized.
Yeah, you're getting a subsidy somehow. You
right.
know?
But even that alone, those phone calls where my answer is stay put. Like, this,
No.
I understand this feels like a lot of money, and you're right, $600 is a lot of money, but that is a freaking steal. You should not disrupt this. You should not blow it up. This is the best place for you to be. And even when that's the answer and it's maybe not all that they would hope for, I think they feel better just to hear an expert say, like, no. But here's the other thing. How many times do you run into people that they've talked to a broker and they shouldn't have moved them, and they did? They said, oh yeah, let's go put you in this. I can think of a group that happens with all the time. Do you have that happen in your world?
Yeah, 100%. I think like a lot of salespeople in health insurance, they typically only sell one thing. Just because from a customer's point of view, it doesn't make sense. But from an agent, it's a lot of work to understand all these different plans.
And a lot of cost.
And these agencies, in order to be able to honestly hire and scale, they're like, hey, we know there's other options, but we're not going to go like rep them. We're just going to pick this one thing. Usually it's a money thing, which is sad.
And it's way easier to teach someone that's just starting out.
Yeah,
one thing, one trick pony. I mean, I think that was, our predecessor, like the place we were before, that was how they did it. They just drilled in one option. That's all you had to learn really well. Like, I understand that. Like, I get that strategy, but I like this better. Now that I'm on the other side of it and I know all that I know about all of these millions
well,
of plans.
it's not fair to the customer, because like, we really work for them, and so if you're watching this and you're like in a situation, you need to find someone who has access to everything, because if not, then you're not going to get the best deal. And like, if something major happens,
or not even best deal, but just the best plan.
Yeah, the best spot that
I also think that that's a misconception. Sometimes brokers just think everybody's out for the cheapest plan. That's not always the case. And, that's where we come in to explain, okay, like, yes, this might cost more, but this is why it's important. Or, no, I would not take that one. It doesn't make any sense. If you do the math, like, I do more math in this job than I ever anticipated I would. But like, if you do the math, you're not going to make up the difference that you're going to pay in premium in your deductible and out-of-pocket max. This doesn't make sense. We should take the cheaper plan. Like, doing that kind of stuff for clients, that helping them understand it. Because I just think people have a very kind of basic level understanding of their health insurance. And I get it, because I was there. I was not qualified to even pick my family's health insurance before I started this gig. Like, you just don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And you try to do the best you can, but overwhelming.
It's super
really overwhelming.
Yeah. Like, here's the deal with the government. Like, whatever they do, if they give enhanced credits back, if they keep them taken away, which is what we think they're going to do, if they give money to an account, the good news is every option is month to month. Like, you can make a change change. When you get into certain plans, some of them have cutoffs, but like nothing is a contract, nothing is like you're set. And so we kind of just shop what's best for what you need now.
Well, and then giving the money to the consumer is kind of the only way to stick it to the insurance companies, because
Yeah, literally, yeah. Because if you think about it, and no shade against the left, but like by mandating that they follow these no pre-existing rules, we put this on other videos. That's great for people who make 20 to 40K,
or that we're only going to give you help if you take this plan.
Yeah.
These set of plans that we've dictated the rules.
That we've dictated the rules. Like that's great for one population, but then you just totally hose the other side of the population.
And really, the other side of the population is anyone who's making above the poverty level and they're not getting a subsidy, because they're not, like, you're either going to pay through the nose or you're going to just you're just going to get wrecked one way or the other. So I don't know what the answer is, because I think that it's extremely complicated. I think it takes a lot of really big brains.
It's not just the insurance companies, it's also the providers as well. Like by them upcharging their services, it feels like the whole game is like a racket. Like you got the government playing one strings, and you got the insurance companies, and you got the providers. Like there's fault everywhere, and that's what's jacking up our system.
I just know that it seems to have gotten progressively worse. Something's got to give.
Because how does the government, like, we should drop this number, but what are they spending on these subsidies? That has to be.
Oh, I mean, we're in debt in the trillions, so
yeah.
Who even knows? But okay, so here's a question for you. How many people during this open enrollment did you deliver the bad news that you're not subsidized, like this is really your only option or whatever, and they told you we're just going to go without coverage this year? Did that happen to you? And was it more than once?
Maybe like one or two people, but pretty much everybody, because we have access to everything, we can find options that are in the same price range.
But it's still one or two too many.
It's still, one or two too many.
And if you had one or two and I had one or two and every broker out there had one or two, that's terrifying. That's sad. Because like preventative care is so important. Like, I am breast cancer survivor because on my preventative screening, they found a mass. So like, I really believe in getting that stuff done. Those are pretty important things that people are just going to forgo. I've also had a lot of talk lately about people asking me about concierge doctors.
Yeah.
So like, this is like a trend where you can pay a doctor X amount of a month, and they will do your labs and your whatever, like your annual checks and like whatever. And people are like, that sounds like a really great idea. And I'm like, I get it. And that sounds great until it's not great, because one doctor can't be an oncologist and a pulmonologist and a cardiologist and all of the things. So like, if you have actually something that goes wrong with you and you find yourself now with a diagnosis outside of the time where the marketplace is open, you are all sorts of hosed if that was your only strategy.
And you should never buy really health insurance for a doctor. Like it doesn't.
No, and
doesn't really make sense.
Concierge doctor, like, again, I mean, it's great in theory, but only if you're accompanying it with something major medical. Like it has to ride along something to fill in that gap, right? We talk all the time about we're going to fill in the holes. We're going to point out the holes to you, and then we're going to show you how to fill them in, right? With another plan, some sort of supplement. That's the same thing. Like a concierge doctor, there's a gaping hole that if it hits the fan,
right,
you are going to be in big trouble. So it only makes sense to have a concierge. And the people that I see that do it the best and that I feel the best about it are the ones who are pretty wealthy. And they're like, look, I just need this to cover in case I'm like hit by a train, because I go to my concierge doctor for everything else. So it doesn't even matter. They don't take insurance. So like, just find me what I need to find for major medical. That's when it works best. That's when the concierge makes sense.
100%.
But people that are just doing it as their only means of health, right?
Yeah.
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So tax credits, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I guess we'll stay tuned. I don't watch the news. I guess I'll hear about it because you'll tell me what happened. But I think it's crazy.
Yeah, but we'll keep you updated. If the government does release, then that would definitely be.
But the misconceptions are out there, and I have people that go and try to research it, and you could do that. I mean, there's a lot of information out there, or you could just call us and we'll explain it to you in a 60-second clip, and you'll understand. But so many people have called me this year panicked, like, oh my God, my subsidy is going to go away, or they think it's going to happen mid-year. You
Yeah.
have that too, right? They're like, they're going to rip it away from me. And I'm like, I feel like everything that's happened is what's for 26. Now we'll just see if there's any change to like them bringing back enhanced. That's the only thing that's really on the table, right? Will the enhanced credit come back? So
We'll come back, or we got to do this money thing and give.
or the stipend. But I don't know. Can our government even pull off anything quickly? Maybe they can. I mean, my son is in the Navy and he got a $1,700, $1,800 bonus.
Yeah.
I think it was 1776 because isn't that when the Declaration of Independence
Yeah.
signed?
Yeah.
Is that the right thing? Constitution?
Well, but
Something. I am not a history major. I'm a psych major. But he got the president announced, and it was in his account like 2 days later. So they can pull things off quickly when they really want to, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know what will happen, but we're here for it. We're here to help guide you through it, whatever it is, however it looks.
So guys, comment down below what you guys think. There'll be a link. If you guys need help with health insurance, reach out. We shop all the plans.
Or if you procrastinated and you didn't deal with it, no time like the present. And we're going to get to a point where if you get past February 15th and you don't deal with this, your options get cut significantly. You lose the marketplace as an option. So please, let's get after this. And if you procrastinated, let this be your sign that it's time to just deal with it. And we're here to help.
We'll see you guys on the next one. My name's Dakota.
I'm Lori.
Bye, guys.